Culture shapes who we are. It influences our values, beliefs, and behaviors. But did you know that culture also shapes our brains? Cultural neuroscience is a new field that explores the fascinating relationship between culture and the brain. It examines how cultural experiences mold brain function and how these changes in turn influence our thoughts, feelings, and actions. The brain is incredibly adaptable. Throughout our lives, our brains change in response to experiences. This ability of the brain to change is called neuroplasticity. Cultural neuroscience shows that culture is a powerful force shaping our brains throughout our lives. Culture influences how we perceive the world around us. For example, people from Western cultures tend to focus on individual objects. People from East Asian cultures, however, tend to pay more attention to the relationships between objects. These differences in attention are reflected in brain activity. Humans are social creatures. We live in groups and rely on each other for survival. Our brains have evolved to navigate complex social worlds. Cultural neuroscience investigates how culture shapes the social brain. Emotion and culture, universal feelings, diverse expressions. Emotions are universal human experiences. However, culture influences how we express and regulate our emotions. For example, cultures have different display rules. Display rules are cultural norms that dictate when, where, and how it is appropriate to express emotions. These rules shape our brain's emotional responses. Language in the cultural landscape, shaping thought and communication. Language is a fundamental aspect of culture. It allows us to communicate, share information, and transmit knowledge across generations. Cultural neuroscience explores how different languages shape our brains, influencing how we think, reason, and perceive the world. Cultural variations in cognition thinking styles across cultures. The way we think, process information, and approach problems can vary significantly depending on our cultural background. This fascinating interplay between culture and cognition is a subject of growing interest among researchers. Culture shapes our cognitive processes, influencing how we think, learn, and solve problems. From early childhood, the cultural environment we are immersed in starts to mold our cognitive frameworks. This means that the way we approach learning, memory, and even creativity can be deeply rooted in cultural norms and values. Research in cultural neuroscience has revealed fascinating cultural differences in thinking styles. Scientists have used brain imaging techniques to uncover how different cultural experiences can lead to variations in brain activity. These studies highlight that our brains are not just shaped by biology, but are also profoundly influenced by the cultural context we grow up in. For instance, studies have shown that people from collectivistic cultures, where interdependence and group harmony are emphasized, tend to engage in more holistic thinking. This means they are more likely to consider the broader context and the relationships between different elements when making judgments or decisions. In these cultures, the focus is often on the group rather than the individual, which can lead to a more interconnected way of thinking. Holistic thinking involves considering the context and relationships between elements when making judgments or decisions. This contrasts with more analytical thinking styles, which are often found in individualistic cultures. In individualistic cultures, where independence and personal achievement are valued, people tend to focus more on specific details and individual components rather than the whole picture. Understanding these differences in thinking styles can help us appreciate the diversity of human cognition and foster better cross-cultural communication and collaboration. Cross-cultural differences in neural processes. Cultural neuroscience research has uncovered numerous examples of cross-cultural differences in neural processes. These differences highlight the profound impact of culture on brain function. For instance, studies using brain imaging techniques have shown that people from different cultural backgrounds exhibit distinct patterns of brain activation when processing information related to social status. Case studies: culture's impact on brain function. Numerous case studies provide compelling evidence of culture's impact on brain function. These studies span various disciplines, including psychology, neuroscience, and anthropology, and they collectively highlight how deeply culture can shape the way our brains process information and respond to different stimuli. One such study investigated the neural correlates of reading in Chinese and English speakers. This research aimed to understand how different writing systems influence brain activity and cognitive processes. By comparing the brain scans of individuals fluent in these languages, researchers were able to identify distinct patterns of neural activation. The study found that reading Chinese, a logographic writing system where each character represents a word or concept, activated different brain regions compared to reading English, an alphabetic writing system. Specifically, reading Chinese characters engaged areas of the brain associated with visual and spatial processing, while reading English text primarily activated regions involved in phonological processing and decoding. This suggests that the brain adapts to the specific demands of different languages, reflecting the intricate relationship between culture and neural function. Furthermore, these findings underscore the importance of considering cultural context in cognitive neuroscience research, as it can provide valuable insights into the diversity of human brain function. The dynamic interplay, culture and brain in constant dialogue. Cultural neuroscience emphasizes the dynamic interplay between culture and the brain. Culture is not static, it evolves over time. This means that the brain is constantly adapting to the changing cultural landscape. For example, as globalization increases intercultural contact, our brains are exposed to new ideas, beliefs, and practices, leading to further neural changes. Conclusion: expanding our understanding of the human experience. Cultural neuroscience is a rapidly growing field that has profound implications for our understanding of human behavior. This interdisciplinary field combines the insights of neuroscience with the rich tapestry of cultural studies, aiming to uncover how our cultural environments shape the very structure and function of our brains. By examining the neural mechanisms that underlie cultural differences, researchers are beginning to map out the ways in which our social and cultural contexts influence our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. By revealing the intricate ways in which culture shapes our brains, this research sheds light on the diversity of human experience. For instance, studies have shown that individuals from different cultural backgrounds may process information, perceive emotions, and even experience pain in distinct ways. These findings highlight the profound impact that cultural upbringing can have on our neural pathways, ultimately influencing how we interact with the world around us. This knowledge not only deepens our appreciation for cultural diversity, but also underscores the importance of fostering cross-cultural understanding and empathy, and the remarkable adaptability of the human mind. Our brains are incredibly plastic, capable of reorganizing and adapting in response to new experiences and environments. This adaptability is a testament to the resilience and versatility of the human spirit. Whether it's learning a new language, adapting to a different cultural norm, or finding innovative solutions to complex problems, our brains are constantly evolving. This dynamic interplay between culture and the brain not only enriches our individual lives, but also drives societal progress and innovation. As we continue to explore the fascinating interplay between culture and the brain, we gain valuable insights into what it means to be human in an increasingly interconnected world. In today's globalized society, understanding the neural underpinnings of cultural differences is more important than ever. It can inform everything from international diplomacy and global business strategies to educational practices and mental health interventions. By embracing the complexity and richness of the human experience, we can build a more inclusive and compassionate world where diverse perspectives are not only acknowledged but celebrated. This journey of discovery is just beginning, and the potential for new insights and breakthroughs is boundless. Subscribe and don't forget to take care of yourselves. Goodbye.